Tonight we will have highlights from the BG football shellacking of Rhode Island last weekend, highlights from BG High School, and updates from around the other campus sports. BG24 Sports is next.
It's unfalcon believable coverage that you won't get anywhere else. This is BG24 Sports.
The Green football team is preparing to travel to Akron this Saturday. Game time will begin at 2 p.m. Earlier today we heard from Coach Dave Clausen on this week's MAC matchup.
And this game is going to come down to, we're going to have to make plays in space. We're going to have to tackle well. And we're going to have to tackle very talented, skilled players. So their skill is certainly, in the top quarter, top half of the MAC in terms of receivers, running backs, quarterback. And our secondary, our linebackers, they're going to have to make plays in space.
It's obviously good to win, and it motivates you, and it makes the environment better going into next week, and you get excited to get prepared for the next game. Obviously that helps a little, but our confidence isn't down. This is a great team, this is a resilient team, and we come out every day ready to work, and this is obviously a huge game for us.
Akron is currently 1-4 on the season as they welcome the Falcons in this week. All right, let's head back to last week. BG football welcoming Rhode Island to the Doit for the year's homecoming game. First punt, the game is expected to go pretty well for BG as Rhode Island is winless on the season. First punt, Boo Boo Gates back to receive. He isn't regular receiver, but that really doesn't matter here. Breaks the tackle, outruns the entire field. God, that guy is quick. Crowd going crazy. BG up quickly as he goes back for the punt return. But it does not stop there. It does not stop there. Later, Shills finds Chris Gallen for the 15-yard reception. BG is up 20-0. These next two plays here are going to show why BG is happy to now have Anton Samuel. First, the 31-yard run outruns everybody. That kid is quick. Michigan transfer. Next half, on the 6-yard line, he was unstoppable. Hands the ball off. He had 3 touchdowns. BG up 41-8. Finally, fourth quarter, the second string is in. Backup QB Matt Johnson finds Curve Kobe in the back of the end zone. BG went on to win 48-8. Last weekend, homecoming was celebrated in the pregame in the Stroh Center. Parminder Banga tells us how the students came and celebrated.
Game day attracted fans of various ages as Bowling Green faced the Rhode Island Rams. The Stroh Show was one of many events before the football game. The Stroh Show was free and featured the marching band and the dance team. It also featured alumni band and dance members who were more than happy to return to their alma mater.
It's really exciting because back when I marched with the marching band, we used to perform over at the field house actually. So it was a lot smaller venue. It was mostly friends and family that came. But I'm really excited that we have the Stroh Center now where we can come and perform, and the alumni come back, and it really gets the fans pumped up for the game and everything. And I think it's just a really exciting place to have all of this. And so it's a lot of fun coming back.
Although the show did not fill up, there was a supportive crowd.
It's a great spirited crowd. Would like to have even a bigger crowd, so come to the Stroh Show. 2 hours before kickoff. So do kickoff, take off 2 hours, be at the Stroh. It's simple. It's simple math.
The Stroh Show was followed with fans tailgating. Bowling Green fans indulged in food, participated in cornhole, and enjoyed live music. For BG24 News, I'm Parminder Bunga.
And that's all for the football wrap. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the BG24 Sports Show. The CCHA coaches poll was released today, and the BG Falcons have been picked to finish 8th in the conference. The team received 43 votes for the position of a total 11 schools. Notre Dame was chosen number 1 by the coaches with 105 tallied votes. The team will open its season at Niagara University this Saturday, game time at 4 p.m. We'll have a quick look around the season's home exhibition game against Ontario Institute of Technology on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's just excited just because preseason seems so long. We get here second week of August, and you go through the whole school thing in a new year, and then you're practicing and working out, and I think finally we see a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel that we're going to line up against somebody else and have a little bit of fun. The
Falcon men's soccer team is struggling with a 3-5-2 record on the season, but will look to regain control against Western Michigan Friday night. The Falcons will travel to Ohio State next week as well. The Falcon women's soccer team will head to Northern Illinois Friday to take on the Huskies. The match begins at 4 p.m., 5 p.m. locally. The women are 1-10 on the season. The Falcon volleyball program currently sits first place in the MAC 4-0 and will host Miami tomorrow at the Stroh Center. The Redhawks are winless on the season in league play. Game time begins at 7 p.m. Then Saturday, BG welcomes in Western Michigan. That game will begin at 7 as well. Just last week, the Mid-American Conference named junior volleyball player Ashley Dunn MAC East Division Defensive Player of the Year. She joins 3 teammates who have earned the MAC Player of the Year honors: Paige Penrod, Lindsay Butterfield, and Leah Shaw. Dunn racked up a career-high 27 digs in last week's game. Just today, the men's basketball television schedule was announced, with the team's biggest game coming on December 18th against Michigan State at the Stroh. The Falcon men will play in its annual Orange and Brown scrimmage on October 20th at 2 p.m. Public admission is free of charge. The Bowling Green women's basketball program began its first official practice this past Monday. The Falcons' exhibition game will take place on November 3rd against Slippery Rock. The women's basketball team is now led by head coach Jennifer Roos, who was promoted this past summer after Kurt Miller took the head position at Indiana University. The regular season begins on the 10th as BGSU hosts Madonna. Coming up next, we have a special guest interview. Stay with us. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back to BG24 Sports Show. I'm Simone Eli here, joined by Ashley Dunn and Libby Dockenhouse, two women from the volleyball program at BGSU. And how are you guys doing today?
I'm well.
Yeah.
Feeling good.
Well, thank you for having us. Thank you for being on the show today. We're going to talk a little bit about how maybe the beginning of the season has led you guys to do so well now in the season. The women's volleyball team is currently first in the MAC. And talk a little bit about how maybe past tournaments have gotten you prepared for MAC play and how you're doing now.
I definitely think our preseason tournament helped to prepare us for this. We played some pretty tough teams. There was Big Ten teams at a lot of our preseason tournaments, and that definitely helped us see some good competition going into the MAC.
What was it like playing against Purdue? I mean, how going and playing in Mackey Arena, how big of a stage was that?
It was pretty intense. I mean, they're all pretty big, thick and raw girls. It was a cool experience. I mean, it's awesome to play girls at a higher level. It just shows you where you're at and helps you get better.
But you went to Indiana and did quite well. Did you guys have success there?
We ended up beating Indiana, which was a good win. We had a tough loss against Cleveland State, but we still played really well as a team against Indiana, which was awesome for us.
Okay. So sitting in first place, Libby, I guess this question can be for either of you, but how does that feel now with the success you're having 4-0 currently in the MAC?
It's something we're definitely not used to. I mean, we're no longer the underdog. Teams are going to over-prepare for us, which is a great feeling. We face the harder side of the MAC, the west side now, so it's all about focusing in and finishing out weekend by weekend.
But Ohio comes in to your home opener and you beat them. How great did that feel? Talk about that.
Phenomenal. I mean, I haven't beaten Ohio yet at my time at Bowling Green, and it was great to get that win. I mean, coming from Toledo, Ohio has always been a really big volleyball program, and to come in and finally get that win with the support of all the people we had at the Stroh felt amazing.
Ashley, being a big leader on the team, what was that like for you?
I think just as a team, we all felt awesome. Like, I think it just showed how well prepared we were, and it just started off the season, I guess, with a huge statement. I think people were underestimating us somewhat because, I mean, we were picked third for the East Division, and just to be first in the MAC and first in our division, it feels good to not be underestimated anymore, for people to take us seriously, I guess.
And how's your head coach feeling? What's she telling you guys as a team to stay level-headed or
Definitely.
be excited?
She doesn't want us to get too ahead of ourselves. She is just preparing us game by game. She knows that we have some tough competition ahead, so we're just focusing on our next opponent.
And what are your thoughts going in tomorrow? How big of a game, being a MAC game, is this going to be?
It's Miami's looking for the first win, which is really important, and so everyone's trying to get our first loss, so it's really important that we stay focused. We're very excited. Miami's always been a huge rivalry for some reason, and it's just going to be great to get in there and see how we can compete.
And really quickly, Ashley, we talked a little bit earlier. You just earned MAC East Defensive Player of the Year or Defensive Player of the Week honors. How does that feel, and what does that do for you individually and as a program?
I mean, it feels good, obviously, to get that honor, but I couldn't have done it without everyone on my team. I mean, I can't play well if the block setup isn't right. I mean, it takes everybody to win a game to do well. So I'm surprised I even did as well as I did because our team was blocking so well. I'm surprised any balls came over the net. But, I mean, it feels good. Any award does. I
mean, having a career high 27 digs it was?
Right.
So, and that was against?
Buffalo.
Buffalo, so.
Yeah.
So, and you are the 4th member of your team to have that.
I don't know the details about that, but.
Well, to have the MAC Week honors. But all right, that's all for today. Thank you, Ashley, and thank you, Libby. We'll be right back.
Hi, everyone. I'm Heather Pauloff with BG24 News. I'm here with Debbie Alderman, co-producer and creator of BG24 Politics. She's also a political correspondent and field reporter for BG24 News. How are we doing today, Debbie?
Doing great, Heather. How are you?
I'm doing great. We're here to talk about the political debate that's happening tonight. So the first question is actually, how do these debates work?
Well, Heather, it's really funny that they call it a debate because the way that the debate is set up isn't really like a debate at all like you'd see in a high school debate team. Instead of having back and forth rebuttals, counter arguments, trying to prove who's right and who's wrong, it's more of the candidates being asked questions and then they're only given a short amount of time to answer those questions. And so it really isn't a debate at all. It's kind of misleading. But it actually has its history back in the 1800s, back when President Lincoln was running for president. So there's that historical element in there too. But you'll see that these debates have that historical context because they do matter in the elections. So back in 1858, when Lincoln was running for president, they did 21 hours of debating over 7 different sessions. Now we don't have that. It's only 4 sessions, but that's how they work.
Awesome.
So it's really simple.
Wow, I didn't realize how much went into these debates, actually. Yes. Now, I know a lot of people who are undecided on who they actually want to vote for in this election. Do you think voters are relying on this debate to kind of help them sway between who they're going to vote for?
It definitely is a really important factor. So we see with Gallup polls and with other polls that are out there, a lot of people have already decided who they're going to vote for. But Gallup recently reported that out of all the people who are voting in this election, 83% of them have said that no, this isn't going to sway their opinion either way. So it doesn't matter what these candidates say or do during the debate, they're still going to vote for the person they've already decided they're going to vote for. But there's that 17% in there that really is going to help decide this election. So it really isn't about being a Republican and voting for a Republican or being a Democrat and voting for a Democrat. It's more those undecided voters. It can go either way.
So what you're saying is the people who have decided on who they're going to vote for aren't really going to be watching this debate with an open mind, or they're just going to go in watching knowing, you know, it doesn't really matter what Obama or Romney says as long as they're kind of looking for how they react in the public eye versus at their actual questions.
Well, it is a lot about how they react in the public eye and their body language. I have a fun fact for you. In 1960, when they were holding the debate, or for the 1960 elections, they were holding a debate. It was Kennedy versus Nixon, and that was the very first televised debate. So the people who listened on the radio said that Nixon won the debate, and then the people who watched on TV said that Kennedy won the debate. So really there's that interesting entertainment element in there too. But also when you think about it, if you've already decided who you're going to vote for, it's more that you're showing support for Romney or President Obama. At the same time though, it's also going to be a great opportunity for the media to find those sound bits and those clips of what they want to hear from those candidates. So while it isn't a debate, it's more of those looking for those sound bites too, that's really going to play an important part too. So you can watch it for that entertainment value. I know, yeah. I definitely am, but it also offers that great opportunity for people to learn and to hear from the candidates what they're saying and what they're pushing for.
So what exactly do these debates, what is their importance as far as voters go? Like how, I don't really know how to word that, how, like why is it so important in the election process?
Well, the debates are really important because we hear the advertisements, we hear them on the radio, we see them on TV, we see the political cartoons, we read newspapers, and we know that certain media outlets are biased in certain directions, and we hear from word of mouth who people are voting for and why. But as I mentioned, it's so important for us to hear what the candidates are saying right out of their mouths uncut, right then and there. So that's why it's really important to watch this debate. And there are plenty of those people who are undecided in their vote too. So if you are undecided, or if you're swinging either way and you're not quite sure, it's a great chance for you to sit down and learn. Because a lot of us tend to look over politics. Because we know that politics isn't necessarily the most fun thing to talk about, especially when we have movie stars and celebrities that we want to talk about. But these politicians are the people who are going to be deciding our future. So we need to pay attention to what they're doing the same way we pay attention to celebrities, and we want to know what's the latest with entertainment and movies. So that's why it's really important to watch the election. And it can be fun too, learning about politics.
Of course. So you're saying that the debates are kind of like an unbiased way to get an understanding of what the candidates are feeling as far as their values go. It's kind of like, it's not Obama bashing Romney or Romney going against Obama. It's kind of their way of just telling you what they feel.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And another great thing about these elections too is the fact that we're really going to see how Obama reacts in terms of people saying, well, he hasn't done anything since he's become president.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, we're going to see, Romney is saying that he's going to fix the economy. He's going to make all these jobs. He's going to, they're both saying that they're going to promote the middle class. They're going for education reform, healthcare reform. We want to see how, because we hear all the talk. We know what they're saying and what goals they want to accomplish, but we want to know how they're going to do that. And so we're hoping tonight that we're gonna hear what those plans are, and we're gonna hear straight from those candidates and not from the other person bashing the other candidate.
Right. All right. I understand. Now, as a political correspondent yourself, how do you think that this debate is going to go tonight?
I'm really glad you asked that, because honestly, it could go either way. Gallup also released a poll saying that Americans are thinking that Obama is going to win the debates, the series of 4 debates. And we're hearing that in terms of the economy and talking about the economy and those certain domestic affairs, Romney will still have a little bit of an edge. So I encourage you to look online, see what the different issues are, and it's good to see how America is voting or what they think, but we also need to keep in mind that we have those polls for a reason, but at the same time we have these debates for a reason too. So watch and see and make that informed decision for yourself. I have no idea which way it's going to go, honestly. I wish I could say, but Americans are saying that Obama's going to do better in really every regard except for the economy and fixing the budget and the deficit.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that they think that Obama's going to do better in this debate. How do they know that? How do they come up with this claim that Obama's going to be better?
Well, the Gallup poll is based on the opinions of Americans and people that they poll. So really, I don't know if you can consider it credible, because predicting how somebody's going to do and then seeing how they actually do are completely different things. So that's one reason why it's not always good to trust the first thing that you hear.
Right. So in other words, it's kind of like trusting other people's opinions, and therefore it's kind of, in a way, swaying other people's opinions. So pretty much whoever decides that Obama's going to do better at the debate, you might be going in already thinking that Obama's the better candidate without even watching the debate, because you automatically think it's going to go well.
Exactly, and you're setting those higher expectations for Obama. So what we may see is people put him on a pedestal, and they're like, oh, Obama's going to do such a great job, and then they're let down by him. At the same time, if people are already feeling that Obama has this edge, they may listen a little bit more to what Mitt Romney has to say, and they may realize that's what they want to go towards. So I don't know if it's really fair to say that you can bet on the candidates like a horse race almost. But that's why it's just good to listen and see what they have in store for us.
Okay. All right. And one last quick question.
Okay.
Taking into account the political ads, do you think it's going to have any effect? Do you think that candidates are going to respond to those political ads tonight in the debate?
I'm not really sure. I wish I had a more concrete answer for you, but we hear Romney being slammed for his 47% comment. I'm sure that's going to come up again, and I'm also sure that Obama's doing fine comment is going to come up again too. So really what I'm expecting to see is that either candidate's going to do a little bit of mudslinging just to work in their favor, to just to see if they can bring out the bad side in the other candidate. So I'm hoping for that entertainment element, but I'm also hoping too that maybe those ads won't be brought into it as much.
All right, well, thank you very much for joining us tonight, Debbie. Thank you for watching BG24 News. Be sure to tune in next Tuesday for another edition of BG24 News. I'm Heather Pauloff with BG24. Good night, everyone.